Alright, so now we created our view objects last time, so now I'm going to go ahead and create the model objects. And so we're just going to create a single class that holds the state of our lucky numbers, and then we'll create an instance of it in our nib file. So remember our model here. So we did our view last time. We laid that out, our components, stored them in a nib file. Now I'm going to create our model objects. So what I'm going to go ahead is I'm going to go to File, New, and create a new file. I'm going to create a new Objective-C class under Mac OS X, Objective-C class, and I'm going to call this Lucky Numbers, and make sure it's a subclass. It's a good old subclass of NS object, just a really basic class. So this is going to contain the user interface agnostic part of our application. Doesn't know anything about the user interface. It's just going to store our lucky numbers and generate and have the logic for generating new lucky numbers. So let's go ahead and add that to our project. And so you can see the Xcode template created a .h and a .m file. So I'm going to go in the .h file. And I'm going to add some instance variables, one to keep track of the current maximum, which in our case is either going to be 49 or 56, depending on which state you want the lotto is going to be used in. And I'm just going to store the numbers in an array of 6 integers. That's our instance variables. We're going to have an initializer that's going to initialize with a maximum value. We'll have we need a way to a getter to fetch the maximum value. We'll need a setter to set the maximum value. And oops. And we'll need a way to fetch a particular number. So let's say number colon int index. And we're going to want a way to pick a particular. So we'll say pick number, and we're going to want a method to probably pick all new numbers. Pick all new numbers. Okay. So that's going to be the interface for the methods we're going to need. So I'm going to grab those, copy those, and go into the implementation. And we're going to implement those. So starting with init. So our initializer is going to be fairly boilerplate code. We'll start by calling the superclasses initialization method, assigning it to self, and all goes well. We'll set our max to m, and we'll go ahead and call self pick all new numbers. So everything's are set to go, and return self. So that's fairly boilerplate. And in our maximum, so for the maximum, I'm just simply going to return max. Notice in this case, for our getter, it just has the same name as the instance variable. For our setter, for setters, you use the same name as the instance variable, but you add a set in front and then do a camel case m. So this is fairly simple. Not much to that. Just assign that, and then so fetch a particular number is pretty easy. I'm just going to say numbers index. Actually, just return this. This is just going to return a particular number at an index, and pick number really is going to be where all the main logic is going to exist. So for this code, we're going to want to be able to pick a new unique number. So let's see. Well, how are we going to do this? So I'm going to create a Boolean flag for determine whether the number I've picked is unique. And so I'm going to create just a do while loop. Well, the number I've picked is not unique. And so I'm going to pick a random number here. Okay, and so let's see. A great one is arc for random and modulo the maximum number. So I want to make sure that that number that I pick is unique. So I'm going to say unique. Oops. I'm going to say unique. I'm going to assume that I'm unique, and then let's do for I equals 0, I less than 6, and while it's unique, then I'm just going to set unique is my random number is not equal to numbers. So that should go through and look through all our numbers to make sure that it's unique. So as long as it's unique, then I'm going to keep. So let's see if that logic seems to make sense. We'll pick a new random number, assume it's unique, make sure it's not equal to any other of our random numbers, and then go ahead and check to see that it's not equal to any of the given numbers. Yeah, and then finally I'll just set numbers I to our new random number, and that should. So there we are. There's our logic for picking a single new random number. And for pick all new numbers, probably the easiest thing to do is go through and zero out all the numbers. So I'll say numbers I is equal to 0, and then I'm going to loop through again. And let's see, I'm just going to say self pick number and that should pick all our new numbers. Okay? So let's see. Uh-oh. This should be good next. Okay. So there's our logic for, so we'll quit right there. So that's our single class for our model. So next time we'll create a controller and create an instance of this particular model, and we'll use the controller. We'll connect it to all of our view elements. So we'll stop there.